It has to be one of the best mini RC truck out of the box. It comes at a great value with many strengths, but with these 7 upgrades and mods, it becomes a great performer. Welcome to Big Sound Hobbies. Today I would like to talk about 7 best upgrades and mods for Axial SCX24 to take it to the next level of performance. I strongly believe Axial hit a home run with Axial SCX24. It has to be one of the best mini RC truck out of the box. It comes at a great value with many strengths, but with these 7 upgrades and mods, it becomes a great performer. Although I have listed the upgrades in specific order, it's not meant to be a prioritized list. Nonetheless, it's in the order that I would tackle the upgrades. In my Axial SCX24 playlist, I have videos covering the install process most of the 7 best upgrades and mods mentioned today. I'll provide a link to the playlist at the top corner and in my description, so make sure to go check them out. I will also have links to all the upgraded parts down in the description. They are affiliate links. Use those links to check out whatever is in your cart. It gives a little bit of commission, and every little bit helps so that I can bring more contents like this. Now let's get started with the 7 best upgrades and mods for SCX24. Number 1. Upgrade the servo. The stock servo is pretty weak. As we add additional weight to the rig, it becomes pretty evident quickly that it needs a new servo. At the low end of the price, EMAX servos work well, and I think it's the best value servo. But there are others that are far better option, but the cost rises for those. Number 2. Upgrade the tires and the wheels. Although the stock tires and wheels are good-looking scale wheels, most people consider them to be pretty hard and not so grippy. Everyone has their tires of choice depending on the terrain that they run them on. Personally, the C10 version of the stock tires are pretty decent, especially after it has been softened up with WD-4. But swapping out the tires and wheels to metal does provide an opportunity to add a bit of weight down low that SCX24 can really benefit from. For me, I have swapped them out with my tire of choice, the RC 4-wheel drive's Rock Reaper tires, and the stamped steel beadlock wheels. It adds roughly 44 grams of additional weight down low. Currently, I am testing out a 3D printed beadlock wheels to see if the additional weight saving is worth it. I'll keep you posted when I know more. Number 3. Relocate the ESC and the battery. This is a free mod, and definitely one that needs to be done. The focus is on adjusting the weight distribution around. The battery weighs in at 22.9 grams, while the ESC weighs in at 12.2 grams. Since the battery weighs more than the ESC, switching their location helps to give a bit more forward weight bias. Additionally, it helps to figure out how much additional weight is going to be needed to get to the 60 front and the 40 rear weight distribution that I'm looking for. Number 4. Add weight to the front. In order to get to the 60-40 weight distribution that I'm looking for, SCX24 needs some brass weights, especially below or at an axle level on the front end. I prefer fixed weight over rotational weights, and thus I would recommend adding the front brass steering knuckle and front brass diff cover prior to adding any weights to the wheel. I find that our SCX24 does not need more than those 2 brass items in order to get very close to the 60-40 weight distribution. In my case, I installed the HR Hot Racing front brass steering knuckles, part number SXTF21H, which added 16 grams, and the Hot Racing brass diff cover, part number SXTF12CH, which added 9 grams for a total of 25 grams to the front end. If you do want to go cheaper route, then you can add some lead weights, even solder, around the areas of axles or wheels to compensate for the additional weight that you need in the front. Number 5. Shock mod or new shocks. The stock shocks are very bouncy, so many folks upgrade to new shocks right away. Before I upgrade my shocks, I decided to mod the stock shocks by adding suspension preload and also adding some green slime to make it less bouncy. Shock O-ring grease, also known as the green slime, is typically used on rebuilding bigger RC shocks so that they don't leak. To my surprise, I've been quite happy with the changes, so at this point, I'll keep using the modded stock shocks. Number 6. New motor, 050 or equivalent size. The stock C10 weighs roughly 230 grams, or just a little bit over half a pound. The consensus is that the stock motor won't last too long as we add additional weight, as the motor has to work extra harder. Most folks recommend the barrage motor, which is bigger in size. Although it does not provide faster speed, it provides the much needed improved torque. Number 7. Upgrade to a performance chassis. This is probably the most controversial upgrade on the list, thus I have it listed as number 7 on the list. The performance chassis provides several values: lower weight, angled skid plate, and many more shock mounting points. Coming from the 1/10 scale world where my main rig is a LCG belly dragger, I'm a big believer of chassis geometry, but unless you try it, it's very difficult to see the benefit. Hope some of you will give it a try, especially when a carbon fiber chassis like TGH24X performance chassis only $20. I hope that you found the 7 best upgrades and mods discussed today informative and useful. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching Big Hobbies.